Right then, shall we jump back into the story? So what's going on? As I said, that the appalling overreaction of the Israeli elite to the Gaza attacks by Hamas is shocking the world. There are very large demonstrations, let's be fair, large, in fact huge demonstrations in Israel by both ultra-Orthodox Jews who regard the Zionist state as heretical because it's established by man and not by God, and secular and left-wing Jews and more liberal Jews, all of them against the Netanyahu regime and its utterly crazed allies. So there's a lot of it going on there. They're appalled by what the IDF and the Israeli Air Force are doing. But of course, so is the entire Muslim world, almost the entire Third World, and increasing numbers of our own people as well. You can say what they're doing is wrong. It doesn't make you a supporter of Hamas. They're in many ways just as bad. And they also don't represent all Palestinians. Plenty of Palestinians fighting for their rights and for their people's freedom in a way that isn't the way that Hamas do it. But why do Hamas have so much support? Because the appalling brutality with which those people have been treated, all hope has been extinguished. All hope of legitimate, peaceful change and so on. What are they left with? They're left with violence. And if you're a weak people against a massively equipped army funded with billions and billions, hundreds of billions of American taxpayers' dollars, then you are left with a form of asymmetric warfare which your opponents will call terrorism. What else can you do? Roll over, surrender, just give up completely? Many young men will not do that. But come back to the Israelis, because they're clever, they're smart, these people. So why are they flattening Gaza? Why are they throwing away their moral high ground card? A week ago they had the complete moral high ground. We've been attacked, our people have been murdered, they've been cutting the heads off babies. A lot of that wasn't true, but nevertheless it was a mass terrorist attack. Brutal things were done by Hamas in the course of that attack. Very large numbers. It's clear now there's Jewish survivors coming out and saying, no, our people weren't killed by Hamas. They were killed by the Israeli Defence Force just shooting indiscriminately against the Hamas fighters and the civilians who were in between, caught in the crossfire. A lot of it's going on, but still, it was pretty grim. And the Israelis could have got the moral high ground from that section of the strife. Because, of course, you can't say it all happened last Saturday. The Saturday before last, rather. No, it didn't do that, did it? Because that's only a reaction to what happened before, and before that, and before that. And it goes back decade after decade. But still, why have the Israelis thrown away their current moral high ground card? Why, by starving Gaza, by bombing it, saying we're going to bomb it flat, get out, and then closing the borders and bombing refugee convoys so that no one can get out, basically they're saying this is going to be the final solution of the Gaza, of the Palestinian problem. Why are they doing that? Because they're not actually worried about the moral high ground. They're worried about something far more practical than that. They're worried about Iran. They're worried about Iran being a military regional superpower which they cannot take on and cannot defeat by themselves, and they're determined to do so, to get rid of it. How are they going to do that? They have to drag America in. But America's not going to go in just over the attack that Hamas were allowed to carry out. In order to get America to go in and fight against Iran, Iran has to first be involved directly in the war through Hezbollah. And Hezbollah is a serious fighting force, far, far bigger than Hamas. It's about 20 times bigger than it was when Hezbollah, defeated the Israelis in the war in Lebanon. It's a huge, very, very powerful, well-equipped force, and there's enough clear evidence that in fact, it's not hidden at all. It's a non-state actor, but it works very closely with and ultimately for Iran. It's a Shia militia, a giant Shia militia backed by Iran. And if Hezbollah can be dragged into the war, then Iran is close enough to the war for the Americans to say, right, now we're going to flatten, we're going to break Iran. And that is what the Zionists want and believe that they need. So you might think, well, by flattening Gaza, they're turning the whole Arab world against them, and the Iranians as well, and it's going to lead to a Northern Front war, which they might even lose. No, they won't, because the Americans are bringing in so much air power that they'll be able to do enormous damage to Hezbollah, as well as bombing the hell out of Iran. That's what the Zionist lobby want. So they're prepared to lose. They've thrown away their moral high ground card. They're prepared to drag us to the brink of World War III and tip us over the edge if needs be in order to sucker the Americans into fighting a regional war on their behalf. That's why they've thrown away the card, and they're constantly provoking, pushing and prodding the Arabs and Hezbollah and the Iranians into getting involved and getting stuck in. They want them to. That's what's going on.